it's not exactly to speak about the content of the slides. I would like just more to stress the method, the didactic method, how to present Gmit. And very first, if the students come into the room, the movie will run. It's our trailer in the background. Always we did it during our lectures. Finally, I will show you this movie. It's just 30 seconds. This is, please imagine, is running during the room, is filling with all the students, okay? So because then it's a little bit more entertaining and it's the students will be concentrated on the content here. So this is the first point what I would like to mention, what you should do. The second point is, very first, before I start to present our slides, I try to interact with the students. Imagine you have a room full of students and you have no idea which class maybe or which major. For example, school 11 is much more concentrated on math and physics. This is what you have to find out. You could of course discuss with the rector of the school, but even much better is to start with some questions. And typically I start with the point a bit more general, what it means to become an engineer. This is exactly what I ask. What do you think? What the engineer will do later on? What do you think? Please give me an idea. Engineer. Our problem. Yeah? Design machines. Design machines. Aha, design machines. What kind of machines do you know? Car. A car. Very good. Maybe bus, right? Because today I arrived here by bus. Yeah. What else? What could do an engineer? Paper. Yeah, you could produce paper because we need it here in school every day, right? Yeah. So. But mainly, what's the difference between other subjects what you could do later on? For example, manager. What's the difference as an engineer?
As a manager, they are organizing something and to make it more better, but engineers are doing things to solve and reducing, for example, in my case, environmental engineer, they are trying to reduce the pollutions and solving the problems is the main point.
Very good. So it means I grab the content and I include the opinion of the students directly in my presentation. So it's not just that you like a movie behind you, of course I come back on time to this point, but I grab the given information. In this case, one student said, solve problems, this nice student over there. And then I come back to this point and says, yes, as an engineer, everybody will love you in the company because the boss is a decision maker, right? He said, he gives the way, the direction. But the problems will be solved by an engineer. And that's why your reputation in industry is quite nice. And then I go more in detail, just a short explanation. And I grab for each subject, mechanical engineering, environmental engineering, and process and raw materials, I grab one topic about. I explain just as to give you an idea. I explained, imagine you would like to build up a new ore processing plant. In this plant, you have certain machines like pumps or engines. This is the task of the mechanical engineer to design a new pump, a new screening machine, for example. So this is the task for the mechanical engineer, and the raw material process engineer will collect different machines to one process, to make this process completely. So his skills will be much more related to the process itself. And finally, each fabrication is surrounded by a certain environment. You have some pollution comes out, you need some energy, some waste will go out, this is the topic of our third major or third subject, the environmental engineering. And last but not least, of course, I explain this a little bit later when I'm on the right slide. And last but not least, then I come back to the industrial engineering, because we spoke about the boss, right? It's very closely related to management and economics, business. And this is, then I say, in the industrial engineer, it's a mixture of, for example, a standard engineer, mechanical engineer, 50% approximately, plus business skills. So then, both, yes, both knowledge areas are combined. So that's what I would like to explain. Don't just stick on the slides. Very first, try to break the ice using questions. And always on each slide I try to ask some question, and later on I try to use these answers. Typically here at this slide I stick extremely shortly, because it's in the Mongolian version, everybody is able to read. Don't read for the students. Yeah? Please just point out the most important information. And on this slide, for me, there are two most important information. First, German quality. That means the programs are supported and developed together with German universities. This is a point what I'm explaining in front of students, high school students. And second, the English language of instruction. This is even the very first point what I ask. Who understand me? I ask. Nomin translate into Mongolian, then some signs. So just to check the students, how many students right now will be able to understand English as a language of instruction. Yeah. Then I come to the study program, as I already mentioned here. On this slide, I just point out what will be the main topic of each engineer. Yeah. And then I go in my explanation to the point, but maybe you don't reach a certain level of knowledge that you can directly enter our university. But please don't worry, after entrance examination, you have the opportunity to increase your skills in relationship to mathematics, physics, chemistry, as well as English and some soft skills. And last but not least, I explain that our university is growing more and more and more, that we will add more master degrees. Right now in place is the very first master of international management of resources and environment. And this is, I think, what the students, high school students don't understand. No? It's very hard. Here you could see, after the explanation, single machine, complete process, the environment plus business. The same here is on master level to have much more deeper understanding of the business relationship, of the business, of the management of our resources and environment.
I do, because people ask what the difference is, and sometimes they have difficulties understanding. I don't read, I just mentioned a few keywords, so while I talk, people can read if they want, but many don't know what the hell a mechanical engineer, what an environmental engineer is, so I give some ideas.
Yes. Same, right? You use examples.
Yeah.
Also job.
And the example, this is one what I just recommend to you. That's why I jump typically over the slides, or I don't show them.
Some students are usually asked the question, there's also technology management. There's usually two designations for industrial engineer, technology management. So they ask, what is the difference? Is it the same or what is the difference? And yes, business and money is okay, business, but what exactly does it really mean? So this is a question because many, when they hear business, they're really, that's good business.
Yeah.
So it's not engineering, not math, it's easier. So I think that's important to explain what the task of this engineer is.
Sometimes I use this mainly. And then elective, I explain a little bit more in detail that we have the opportunity of non-technical electives like languages, and some technical electives are under development right now. Admission requirements, of course, this is always a question, how to become a student at Gmit, but here I point out the score, what they have to reach, 500 points, and very often then a discussion between the students is starting. This is my experience. And yeah, I explained that you have to have this score in 2 scientific subjects, mathematics, physics or chemistry, and English. So that an entrance exam takes place, and then very often the question is with the date. That's why we included this, and I motivate the students to memorize or to write it down, something like that. And even very, very important is to give this information about the preparation class. This is one of the most important information what you can discuss, in my opinion, because always the money, it's very sensitive. No? Every student will see very first 3.5 and 7 million Tugrig, but it's very important that you point out what all is included. The living on campus, the equipment of internships, international instructors and so on, the German language classes and so on. And then here I explain the different scholarship opportunities that it ends up in total of approximately 40 of our best students will receive a scholarship. And that we also have the opportunity to use German money from DAD. Nobody knows about DAD. I just say very simple. This is German money. We have. I did the following. I say we have 3 kinds of scholarships: from industry, from Mongolian government, from German government. Very simple. And in total, 40% will receive them. So it means it's almost half of you. Always I speak directly to the students. The half of you, if you would apply, could earn money, could use money, and then the tuition fee will be partly or up to 100% paid by another party. Mercedes-Benz G-Class. It's so incredibly expensive. Why they choose this car? I asked. Why? Quality. Even they know it's so expensive and I have to spend the money, here's the same. If you would like to become an engineer on international level, then you have to spend a certain money. This is logically. It's always about the same. And here's the opportunities to save the money I point out afterwards. And then I think it's very important to stress the point what the difference is between going abroad and staying at Gmit. Because if you spend money, you could also go abroad for example, Germany or Japan or United States. This is also, in my opinion, a very, very important what you should explain. Why they should stay here in Mongolia. Yeah? What you would say if you have this opportunity to explain? You could stay with your family, it's one topic. Second one, I know always. So, and then at that point, I would like to go to the United States, it's much more nice, and bigger cars, and everybody is speaking English quite well. No, I come back at that point, why you should study in Mongolia, I come back to the internship point. Yeah, okay. To this point, I said, as you already saw, a huge amount of your study time is used to go to a company. The bubble, every student is, I don't understand, I have to sit at university, learning. No, I explained. In our study program, it's like in Germany, you will go to, as a part of your study, to the company and to do some work, let's say, similar as a very young engineer, solve little problems. Solving little problems. Yeah? And what do you think? It's quite helpful to go to a professional internship. 14 weeks is helpful, it's meaningful. Students, yeah? Imagine you will be high school students. It's good or bad? Good. Who is for good? Please give me a sign. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who thinks, oh God, waste of time? Give me a sign. 1, 2, 3. It's waste of time. Why? Why? Then I move. Also very important. Don't stick on a certain position. Change your voice, change your...
around.
Yeah, go around. This is exactly what I do, right? I go to the student.
Because it's lots of brushing, you know, I don't want to spend the time washing walls.
Washing walls and very dirty environment maybe.
It's too long.
Okay. So I collect first a bad opinion.
Yes.
Don't start with a good one. Yeah, because then you lost in space. Is this answer not very proper that sometimes I choose a second one? And why you don't like to go to
So long, 14 weeks.
It's too long for you. But the good message is it's in your surrounding. It's near to UB maybe. Yeah? It's a good message. You can go home every week. But why you would go to internship? You said it's quite nice. Why?
To learn new things.
To learn new things. But right now I would like to explain what would be the most important to practice something right. To use very modern CNC machine, right? Like yesterday. Our GMIT professors collect the instructors from the industry, teaching them how to have an internship of international level. So it means not to wash. It's very often, you have to stress this point, not cleaning the floor. This is not our approach. You will learn something, or let's say with simple words, you will work as a very young engineer. Solve little problems, maybe collect some information in a proper way. This is a big difference. But the most important thing of this is the following. This is an entrance ticket for your future job. Because both sides knows in advance each other. The company knows the students already. He's diligent. No, he's always using the phone during class. No? So they know each other. And even the student, you will know the company. Oh, what this boss, what a great, he has very high experience in a certain area, blah, blah, blah. So everybody knows each other. And for the second step, that's why I show these 2 points, bachelor thesis. Even this could be a point what you as a student could do in industry. So to point out the difference between a study program at the Mongolian University in comparison to our thing. And even, visits, this is what I do on this slide, right? I give the students an idea why it's a big advantage to have already experience from industry side. And then, last but not least, always I point out, so by the way, and even this is included in your tuition fee. Yeah, really? Yeah. So internship, international experience. Yeah. Study abroad is possible for our, right now are 20 students, right? 20 students can go to 15. So here you have to say not everybody, no? But for the best of each class, right now 15 students went to Germany. You can see some pictures. And it's not just to learn, it's even to collect experience of a foreign country, to come in touch maybe with the German culture as well as with other German students. It's a big difference to studying at Gmit to other programs. Yeah, then I point out it's a campus university. It's dormitory directly situated here on our campus, and this I show very quickly. Just of course we have different lab and opportunities, but here I don't go so in detail. We have a very modern dormitory and then our cafeteria, how it looks like you can see. Wi-Fi is available everywhere. So this is the most important point. And typically at the very end, I come back to my very first question. This is also one recommendation what I would like to give. So try to make like a ball, make it round. You ask something at the very beginning. What was my very first question? What's an engineer? Right. And please try to come back to this topic. Why studying engineering at Gmit? Yeah? Because you will find your own words, you will find your own examples, but try to point out, let's say everybody will love you because you solve problems. You will have a very good salary, and this money what you or your parents will spend in your education, it comes back 10 times or much more than what you have to spend. I would like to ask you to add something. Katja already did what you would like to share here in this group when you have the opportunity to present Gmit. Make it interesting. And finally, right, at the very end, the movie again will start. This is running as a loop, a 30 seconds loop. Yeah? Okay, and then of course finally I motivate the students to come in front. Of course I ask some question. What would be the result?
Silence.
Silence, definitely. Please count with that. Please be prepared. It's normal. It's nothing special. No question left. That's why always I said, of course I ask for question, but much more I motivate the students. Okay, if someone of you has some question left, please come in front and let's continue our discussion face to face. This is typically what I did. And then 4, 5, 6 students, little crowd of students will here around you, and then you discuss a bit more in detail. Don't forget to announce the direct discussion, because then every student will disappear. They are quite shy, especially if you're a German guy staying in front. And I love this translation into English because 2 voices, Nomins and my voice, it's much more interesting